So here we go. I'm going to start, let's kind of start the coloring process here on this one. So there's my final line drawing there. And again, like I know I wanted it to be some kind of a sunset scene, warm colors, oranges, golden yellows, colors like that. So to help me with that, I found some pictures. These are all ones I've taken. Again, it's best if you can use your own pictures if possible. To just kind of help me to see what the values and colors will be like during a sunset. So I like that saturated orange. I see that the the boat and the land gets really dark, and more of the light values are in the sky and the water. And what else you can do? So let me just choose one of these that I like. I kind of like this one with the bright orange. So that's this one on this layer. I'm just going to copy and paste this. So drag it down to new layer and have two versions of it. What I'm going to do is just, this is a way you can get and create your own color palettes if you want a color palette to be based on a photo. So I like the colors in here. I want to create a color palette on this. So I'm going to go to, make sure that layer is selected, and go to Filter, Pixelate, believe it's Mosaic. Yes, there we go. So this just breaks it into the average amount of colors. So I can change this and have more colors. You can see what it looks like when I make the cell size is very small. And each time I increase the cell size, it just kind of averages those colors out to the main colors in this composition. Somewhere right around there is pretty good. So I get some oranges, some cooler blues, some browns and tans, and then also some dark values. So I'll just kind of use this. And sometimes what I will do, then just select this and hit Command C for copy. Come over to here. I'm going to extend this outwards and hit Control V. And now I can just place my color palette here. Let's just call this color palette. I want to extend this white so I can see it better. Okay, so now I have kind of my color palette right there. Turn off that layer. I also want to put a frame on here. So I will put that on top. Made a new layer here. I'll call this frame. And I'm just going to use my rectangle selection tool over here. Draw right around that frame from my sketch. Put it there. Then I'll go to Edit, Stroke. And this will put a stroke along this selection, this dotted line. I want the color to be black. Do OK, OK. And there it is. So now I have a nice frame around there as well. And if I want to get rid of this little bit over the edge, I'm going to select this section. Okay, that selected all the blank in there. I'm going to check this box here, and it will only select the part I'm clicking. Just drop some white in there. All right, so now I have my frame layer. I'm just going to lock that. My final drawing, lock that one. Color palette, lock that. All right, so the first step, I'm going to name this layer flat color. So this is underneath my drawing layer. First step, always get rid of that white. So I'm going to put in one of these oranges I kind of like there. There we go. So that will be the first step there. Just get rid of the white. And now I'm just going to go start in and selecting. So if you remember from that previous video, usually I like to separate positive and negative space here. So I'm using my lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, which allows me to do straight lines. And again, I'm not worried about this. I want to get close to the lines that I've done in my drawing, but they don't need to be exactly like this. Once I have that section selected, I could come back over here and select one of these colors, or You just hit Command U, which brings up hue saturation, and I'm just going to turn down that lightness just a bit there. There we go. And I also want to have my, where's my workup sketch? Here it is. So here's my workup sketch. I might also just take this, select this a little bit right here, Command C, Command V, and put this over here kind of next to my color palette. I can merge these down and put these on one layer. So that's just right-clicking on that layer and selecting Merge Down. So now those are on their own layer. All right, back to that flat color. So I'm just going to use this as a reference for how light and dark things should be. Okay, I'm going to switch to my regular lasso tool because I'm going to do these rocks. Here on the focal point of the old man, he's pretty dark, so he's going to have quite a few dark values on him, and then like a light value on his beard. Just going in here, selecting these shapes. So it's helpful to do these and be very conscious of your steps. So I will do flat color first, then shadows, then highlights, and then some texture at the end. So keeping yourself and making sure you're doing kind of each step, switching to the brush tool here to fill in these little bits I missed. Like making yourself be disciplined and stick with all those steps will kind of make you have better results in the end. I know a kid's like, oh, maybe I want to skip ahead and start adding in some shadows right away. You don't want to do that till you have like all your flat colors figured out first. Okay, go back and look at some of these reference. So I will get some blue, kind of gray blues in the sky and the water eventually. What happens if I tweak this right now? Let's try one of these kind of grayish blues. And we know from our color theory, blue and orange is already going to go really well together. So because they're complementary colors, so that will help with kind of this sunset color scheme we got going here. I need to darken up these trees and the land back here, so these are darker than the sky or darker than the water. Alright, so I selected all this right here, and now I'm switching to this magic wand tool, and I can hold Option and it switches it to a minus. So it's going to take away sections of my selection. So I'm taking away the sky, taking away the mountain, take away the boat, take away those rocks. Now I can darken that up. What color is the land here? That land is pretty dark. So even though I'm seeing that that land is like almost solid black in some of those reference photos, I do not have to follow that exactly. I might actually just make it a little bit more saturated to get some lighter value oranges in there. Okay, now I select the water. Water will be reflecting the sun or the sky. What color is the water here? Yeah, the water is kind of that grayish blue. Grayish blue with kind of orange highlights. So I'll drop in that grayish blue first. I'll make it a little bit darker than the sky. Alright, so that's probably good just for the video. I'm going to go in here and keep working on this, separate out all the shapes. Obviously here in the foreground with the old man with the hat, skin, beard, clothes, little accessories, those will take a little bit more time to go into. Things like that, okay? So in the next video I will have all these flat colors done, and then we'll start to add in some shadows and other things like that.